is the XenApp delivery as a only to deliver application for XenApp, and for XenDesktop deliver application and desktop. I'm just click on the XenDesktop, and then you will get the option delivery controller, virtual agent VDA, and these are the components. Once you click on delivery controller, you will get these options also at the time while you are installing the delivery controller. But VDA is the individual installer. It's install only VDA or to create the master image. Okay. So I'm going to install the delivery controller. So it's the next one. I have read and understand the license agreement. Next one. These are the components: delivery group, studio, director, license, and storefront. I'm going to install all the components on the single server because uh, this is the only server which will hold the all these roles: delivery controller, studio, director, license server, and storefront. And one more server I will create for the VDA. One or two, three servers I will create for that. And this is going with the SQL Express. If you don't want to go with the SQL Express version, you have another option to install a Microsoft SQL Server 2014 and start connect with that server. These are the required port. It's a 7279 for vendor daemon, 27000 for licensing port, 8083 and 8082 is the further license management console and license administration console. These two ports are for delivery controllers, these two ports are for director, and here the for storefront. So basically here you can see there are 6 ports which are required for all 4 components, and this is the installation process. Here you can see about LHC, that is Microsoft SQL Server Express, Microsoft SQL. Okay, once it start the installation, then you can see the LHC where LHC is, that is local host cache storage, local DB. Is it visible for you guys?
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is your LHC, which is only installed on the delivery controller. It's not installed on VDA or any other component. It's installed with the delivery controller only. It will take I think twice, reboot twice or thrice in between the installation process.
Complete component has been installed. That .NET from our local host SQL server.
It's a basic component that is required
That,
for the
that
installation. That is .NET, Visual Studio, Microsoft components. These are the basic prerequisites. Here you can see hide prerequisite. So these are the prerequisites to install this.
on delivery controller.
Yeah. And after the installation, you will get call home feature. I think if you gone through the document which I have provided yesterday, the car stall home. In that, you have seen after installation, it will ask for the uh, call home feature. Can anyone tell me what is call home feature? I can show you in here. It's a launch. Is a call home. Can you see? Is a call home feature. Call home feature to install call home. Uh, we need the ID and password of Citrix URL. Whenever we purchase any license for Synapse or Zendesk for provisioning, we need to create a ID on Citrix portal. So that ID password is required to connect with the call home. In case we face any issue at that time, it will ask to connect with the Citrix portal, and we need to provide the ID and password. Then the log will automatically saved on the Citrix portal, or from there Citrix will provide us the solution. That is the online process. So in technical terms, we call this call home. Okay. So here is not showing right now, but before finish the installation, it will show that you want to enable the call home or you don't want to enable that. So it's a depend upon the client. If client requirement is there to enable call home feature, we can. Or most probably for the troubleshooting purpose, we always enable the call home feature. Okay, let it be restart. In between, I will pause the.
Uh, Arvind sir, for
Yes,
the installation time, the local connection leasing is also installing of
yes,
this
yes.
feature.
Both features will install
Okay,
LSC as well as connection.
connection lease. Okay, okay.
You
Thank you.
have to enable that to the command line. If you
Okay,
want to enable the by default in 7.15 LSC is enabled, but if you want to enable connection leasing also, you can do that through the command line.
to the PowerShell command, right?
Yes, right.
अरविंद सर, इसमें ऑटोमेटिकली रन नहीं होता, हमें हर बार मैन्युअली रन करना पड़ेगा जब
नहीं
रीस्टार्ट
नहीं,
होगा तो
ये
ये?
एक्चुअली मैंने शेयर्ड फोल्डर लिया है, इस
ओके
वजह
ओके
से ये मैनुअली करना पड़ रहा है मुझे।
ओके ओके, क्योंकि एक्चुअली हमने 6.5 में तो हमारा ऑटोमेटिकली रन होना शुरू हो जाता था,
यहाँ
जैसे
पे एक्चुअली आई डोंट हैव द 7.15 ISO फाइल,
ओके ओके
it is
ओके
not showing here.
ओके
It's
ओके
this one is not ISO, as well as once I am going with the all images, I can see is this one. This one is the RAR file, not the ISO file. That's
ओके
why it's not running automatically. Every time
ओके
I need to choose the file location which I shared.
शेयर्ड बाय द
Yeah,
एडी थ्रू।
then it will start the installation.
ओके
Can anyone tell me what is load throttling?
Load shortness.
Load throttling.
Yeah, in 6.5.
Load throttling. Load throttling is determines the load based on how user login operation effect on server performance.
Okay. And how can create the machine catalog?
How can create the machine catalog?
Steps. I need the steps to create machine catalog.
Catalog. Oh, शायद याद नहीं रहा.
Right click on the machine catalog, go to the create new machine catalog, provide the name of the catalog, then you need to choose either MCS, PVS, or other operation, or you want to create a desktop OS or server OS. Then next and provide the if you are going with the MCS, after that you need to provide how many machines do you want to create, provide the number of the machine, then provide the user. Screen is not visible, I think. Enter, select, enter screen. Hello. Let me know once my screen is visible.
Yes, your screen is visible now.
Okay. You can see this option: machine catalog setup, MCS, PVS, and another. Another means you are, every time you need to go with the manual process. You need to create a Windows server, then you have to install the VDA agent on that. And after that, go to the machine selection. How many machines do you want to create? This one. And then its number of machines which you have provided is created under the machine catalog. Okay, now it's still installing. Oh, one more thing. Hmm. Can anyone tell me what is the use of mf20.dsn file?
M dot.
mf20.dsn.
Basically, the use for this file for store the all SQL information, database information has been stored, which type of server and what is the username and password.
Okay. And what happens if our database goes down for 7.15? Goes down or not reachable or not available that time?
If the your database server is not available.
Yeah.
अरुण जी यही पूछे आपके क्या आपकी
Okay.
ओके
It's asking for reboot. Just rebooting this. What is maintenance mode? Why is it required?
Maintenance mode.
Hmm.
what is the maintenance mode?
Yeah. In 7.x is a maintenance mode is there. What is the requirement of maintenance mode?
Maintenance mode may be possible to update or any changes is happening or any patch may be delivered.
Hmm.
That's why the mode is. I don't know. I'm just guessing this one.
Yesterday I have shown something while deleting the server. To put any server in the maintenance mode is required in case we want to make any changes or make any update on the server. In 6.5, maintenance mode is not there. In 6.5, apart from maintenance mode, one other service is there. Can anyone tell me the name? It's a enable login or disable login, something like that. Apart from maintenance mode, in 6.5, we used disable logon. Okay, remember that. Disable logon is to perform any maintenance activity on the server. While we enable disable logon, user will not able to log in on that server. Only administrator can log on that or using suppose you want to perform any maintenance activity on the server. First you need to log on the server and then disable logon, and after that you can perform your maintenance activity. The same thing in 7.15 is a you can say maintenance, enable or disable the maintenance on that server. So user will not able to use that server, and you can perform your activity over that, any update or anything.
Can you repeat again for the 6.5 once again?
It's a 6.5 is a enable logon or disable logon.
Okay.
Once you disable logon on that,
Hmm.
you can
Disable. On disable logon, users are not able to access this one. The administrator should access on this one and maintain all these things.
yes. And in 7.x is called maintenance mode.
7.x is called maintenance mode.
The feature is same, use is same,
Hmm.
but its
Name
name
is name is
name
name is different.
name is different. The name says maintenance mode. And what is the use of startup license? I told someone to read and tell me in the next session. What is startup license? Use of startup license.
License.
In shadowing in 6.5 as well as in uh, 7.x, how we use shadowing and what is the purpose of shadowing?
Basically, we have used the shadowing in 6.5 for the if the user facing is any issue in the uh, in the running session, so we can take the remote uh,
This
through
snapshot.
shadowing
And it's
through
And,
snap.
and from which console we can take shadowing of the session?
Which console?
Hmm.
oh, it's a
ZDC.
No, from 6.5 is from App Center, and
app
in a
center or delivery service controller.
and 7.x we
Yes.
can
Director.
Director.
okay, correct.
And
Uh,
sir, no, Arvind sir, that is the startup license. The startup license is a free license and added when the you install the Citrix license server. That when we starting 6.5 startup server asking for, you were just told us ignore that one. I thought this one is
a startup license is used to provide license to any of the Zenap product server, and it sends a heartbeat to the member servers.
okay.
Basically, it's on the license server. So license server to get the detail that server is available in the network or not,
Not
sends a heartbeat to the member servers and collect the details of the servers and prepare a list that how many servers are in the network.
hmm.
So it's a basically startup license is a product license, is a not the user license. For
User
user
base.
license, we use concurrent license or the per user per device license.
Yes.
अरविंद सर एक बार दोबारा बताना आप स्टार्टअप लाइसेंस का.
Startup license is to provide a license to the member servers, Zenap member servers, to know about the health or the availability of the server in the network.
Hello.
It's also sent a heartbeat to the member servers, and once it gets a reply of that heartbeat, it's update their server list. So whenever any new server added in the Citrix network, it gets a startup license from the server.
Okay. After before the license is not provided to him.
It's a we have three type of licenses.
Mhm.
One is user license, that is per user per device or concurrent. Startup license, that is a Zenap product license, and third one is the Windows terminal services license. And terminal services license is also is a per user per device license. So these three type of licenses are used in Citrix.
One is user license, and one is startup license, and one is terminal license.
Yeah, terminal services license for Windows.
Startup license used for the
It's a product license. It's a like
product license.
Zenap product license. It's get the detail of all servers which is connected with the Citrix network. Additions in Citrix, Advanced Enterprise
Advanced enterprise.
And one more is there.
Enterprise professional.
Mhm.
Advanced.
Enterprise and premium.
No,
No. No, platinum.
platinum. So there are three type of editions in Citrix:
Edition.
platinum, advanced, and enterprise. These are the editions.
Advanced, enterprise, and platinum.
Versions we can call is a 6.5, 6.0, 7.15, 7.16, 7.12,
7.1.
7.8, 7.9. In 7.7, Citrix introduced the which feature is a zone.
Connection list. Oh, zone. Zone.
Zone.
Sorry. Zone.
7.12 is the introduced the LHC feature.
LHC.
7.12,
7.2 also introduce the LHC.
and after that session recording. Session recording is one more feature is in Director. Once you are taking the session of the user, you can record it and pass it to the next engineer or the next shift engineer to troubleshoot the issue without taking disturbing the user again.
That means like shadowing.
Yeah, it's like shadowing, but apart from shadowing, take the recording of that. That
What
is
I
session recording.
session recording. Oh, introduce in session recording. Introduce.
In 7.13. Also is I think 7.14. You can search in Google. It's a 7.14 or
Okay.
7.14. And also we can do one more thing. We have 6.5 environment here. Migrate the servers from here to 7.x and remove this from the form and add it in the site. We'll do in next session, or most probably I will add the same thing in this video and then I will upload, so that in a single video you will get all the things. But this process is very long, so it will take more than 3-4 hours to do. So better I will do that in the same video, and I will once I will done, I will share the video on the YouTube channel, and in the next session I will explain the things. Okay, is it fine? And one more thing, today I will share one more document with you guys. Is a uh, previous interview questions as well as the Excel sheet, troubleshooting Excel sheet by tonight. And with the explain, with the most of the things are related to the 6.5 with the troubleshooting. And apart from that, some more videos related to the troubleshooting and all.
Now we actually need to see that Waka group creation in 6.5.
Okay,
That will we are missed out actually.
okay, no
Missed out means
problem.
we are not actually not in a class actually, not happening in a class actually. How to
Okay,
create, how to do.
and smart check,
We
smart
are not,
scale, smart migrate, and smart build. These all features are in Citrix Cloud. Apart from that, is a call home feature. If you want to install call home, you can just I want to connect only call home, or this is smart tools. Means all these smart tools as well as call home features. And then connect. Once you connect, you need to provide your user ID and password of the Citrix portal. And so I don't want to do anything. Okay, this is the installation has been. This installation has been done. So after the installation, we need to configure it. Okay, let's start. It's a 6.5 form. Form name is Zenap 6.5. Worker group if you want to create a worker group, just right click over here, go to create worker group, and once you click on the create worker group, it will ask the name of the worker group, what name you want to create with the worker group. In between, in the 7.x, I will enable that. Here is a any name, just suppose account. Okay, I'm creating this for the account section. Description, if you want to, you can add. Okay. And after that, here you will get all three options. Form servers. Form servers means that servers which are added in the form. Active Directory server group or containers. Active Directory containers. So if you add Active Directory container, you can choose the server from here. But if the server is not installed with the Citrix, then you cannot add that in the worker group. There is no benefit to add that server in the worker group. So always go with the form server, add. You will get the servers which are in the form. You can select the server, okay, and okay.
It can be multiple, no? It can be
Hmm.
multiple.
We can add multiple servers,
Yeah.
and this is the based on the same kind of servers, same property of servers, same role of servers. Is the based on the application, based on the department, we can create the worker group. And once we create any policies, Citrix policy will apply on the worker group, and it's directly, once we apply that policy on the worker group, it directly applies on the member servers. Okay, now the load evaluator. Basically, by default, there are two load evaluators, advanced. In advanced, we have 4 configurations. Let it be open. And second is default. Apart from that, we have one more option to create a load balancer as per our requirement. So first, I have opened the advanced load evaluator. In advanced, you can see the plus sign over here. These 4 settings are enabled or configured in advanced. It's a by default, you cannot make any changes on that. That is CPU utilization load rule, load throttling, memory uses, and page swap rule. These 4 rules are enabled in advanced load evaluator. Okay, now I am going to open default. In default, we have only 2 rules, server user rule and load throttling. And you can see load throttling is enabled in both of the load evaluator, advanced or default. Apart from that, I have created 2 load evaluators over here. Is a as per our requirement, we can create it. So just you can either right click here or new, add load evaluator, or in the right side is a new, click on the new, and you will get the same option. So add load evaluator, and here you need to provide the name Sagar Bahal, and as per your requirement, you can select the roles. Okay, page swap, page fault. There are 12 rules, and it's created. Okay. Apart from that, one more thing you guys want to know about the Citrix policies. Here in the policies, we will go to the policies. Here there are 2 type of policies: is a server-based policies or user-based policies. There is a computer-based or user-based. This is the template. Template means once you create any policy, you can create a template also, or from template you can configure the policy. So in the computer policies, I am going to get a new policy over here, like ABC. Next, here I will try to configure the. So you can see session reliability. Okay, session reliability. Just I need to click on add. Session reliability allowed or prohibited is already allowed. Okay, it's enabled. But before that, it was not enabled. The session reliability port number 2598. That is a default port number for session reliability. Open. Session reliability timeout. Timeout is 180 second. Also remember that it's an interview question. What is the timeout for session reliability? Is the 130 second. And one more thing is here is a keep alive. Keep alive
130 second or 180 second?
is a 180 second. And for keep alive, it's keep the session active. What is keep alive? Keep alive message by default interval between the 60 second. You cannot enable both settings, keep alive or session reliability together. Only one setting will work, because keep alive works in 60 second is a timeout, and for session reliability is a 180 second. Okay. Also do one thing, write it down. You need to read about the keep alive and session reliability. Okay, I will mention here. So what you need to search, because after that I will tell you about that. It's a keep, because both settings are same. It's a in absence of internet, or yeah, while you are working on in a Citrix session, and in between your internet goes down or is stuck for the moment, it keep your session active till the time it's mentioned over here. Okay, so read something. Keep alive session reliability. I'm coming to the session reliability. What is session reliability? Session reliability keeps session active when network connectivity is interrupted. Okay, this one. I'm just copying it and pasting in the chat box, so you can find it out. This is session reliability, and second one is a keep alive. Once I'm going to keep alive, here is a keep alive message not sent. Enable this, prevent broken connection from being disconnected. If ZenApp detects no activity, this setting prevents terminal services from disconnecting the session. Okay, this is your keep alive. Okay, you are working in a application, and suddenly you got an urgent work, so you want to go there, and you come after the 10 20 30 minutes, or after the mentioned time is a 60 second. For keep alive is a 60 second, remember that. So in between you come in 59 second or 58 seconds, then it will keep your session active. It will not uh, uh, disconnect your session. Okay, that is the benefit. Keep alive. So make a note of that. Apart from that, one more is a reboot behavior. Once you want to configure the reboot message, what is the strategy, or what is the structure for that? First, you need to send a error message to the user that the server is going to reboot in the given time frame, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Next, disable the timing frequency. How after in every 5 minutes you want to send that message to the user or alert to the user that server is going to reboot. it's a weekly reboot or monthly reboot or within 15 days, you need to schedule that warning interval and the frequency like weekly, 15 days or monthly reboot. So here you can see in the reboot custom warning message, you need to enable it. Once you enable that, then only you can provide the custom text. Here you need to provide the custom text. Server is going to reboot for maintenance. Okay, this is a custom. First you need to enable this one, custom warning, then warning text, then reboot logon disable time. How many time? Is 15 minutes. Before 15 minutes, logon will disable on the server. Then suppose you have created, then you need to choose worker group. Suppose any worker group is mentioned here. Is what we created.
Sagar, only Sagar.
Is a load developer. So ABC. Okay, it's a ABC.
No, you have created the worker group also.
Yeah, worker group. I have created with the name of ABC. You can see it's a
account. His name is
account.
Account
Okay.
name is.
So whatever you can see, you have
How?
seen the process of that. How to apply the policy on the worker group, and also from the load evaluator, whatever you created, you can apply from the policies. Like if you want to apply the load evaluator on the application, just right click and attach application to the load evaluator. Here you need to select the load evaluator and apply it. Okay. One of the controller in the could not be connected. Okay. So ddc 01.citrix.com. Okay, I will check it. I think it's due to the I have installed it from the local ID. That's why it's showing the error message. Okay, so for today, I'm closing the session and